Hi everyone, welcome to the first of First in Texas's training series. This is going to be a presentation about recruiting and engaging underrepresented students. The presentation will be called Changing the Conversation. I just want to start with a little bit about First in Texas. First in Texas is made up of Jessica Galfus, the director, myself, Ben Holquist, the grants coordinator, and Gina Watts, our outreach intern. We've been working together for a little bit over a year now. Well, Gina just joined us the past month. But First in Texas has been based out of Skill Point Alliance since the summer of 2013. First in Texas has received over $4 million in grant funds and has awarded grants to over 800 high school teams. We are working on increasing access to FIRST programs in Texas. Skill Point Alliance, our parent organization, is an industry-driven workforce development agency that focuses on adult workforce training and also student STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math. We're excited to start this training series with this presentation. We did surveys last year from coaches for FIRST teams across the state on what would be useful trainings. And this was one of the topics that coaches expressed an interest in. So we're excited to have here today Mercedes Crawford. She is the Community Recruitment Coordinator at Skill Point Alliance. She was also the Central Texas FIRST Regional Partner last year. So she's had a lot of experience in recruiting underrepresented students to robotics and to STEM programs generally. And with that, I'm going to turn over the presentation to her. Throughout this presentation, all the attendees will be muted. If you have any questions at any time, please type them into the questions field. Gina Watts will either respond to your question to let you know when it will be answered, or she will ask Mercedes directly if it's a clarification or if it's relevant to the topic that Mercedes is currently talking about. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Mercedes Crawford, and I'm the Community Recruitment Coordinator at Skill Point Alliance. As being mentioned, I was also the Central Texas FIRST Coordinator last year, so I have a really strong interest in this topic that I'm going to give today. So the name of the PowerPoint is Changing the Conversation. Basically, a group of organizations got together and did a PowerPoint and did a research project. That group includes the National Academy of Engineering, the Women in Engineering Program, and both of those, and the Texas Girls Collaborative Project. They worked together, they did a couple of research, and this is what we got. So basically, just sit back. If you have any questions, please ask, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And again, I would like to thank First in Texas for having me out here today. And that's me in my first robotics days with my cowboy hat. If you guys are doing FLL, you know that at many of our events we wear our hats, and we definitely want to make sure that we keep that culture going along. That's actually one of the reasons why kids like to get involved, because we have fun, we have our costumes, and we keep it going. So just a little point to have there. So the study, like I said, there was a research study done. They did in-depth interviews. They also did an online survey. The in-depth interviews included students from 9 to 11 years old, and then they also did in-depth interviews for adults and teen focus groups. The online survey did a sample of over 3,600 teens and adults, both African American and Hispanic. The input from all the interviews together, we put it together and made this presentation. So what we found out was, first of all, the youth today, teens have a limited understanding of engineering, or what engineers are STEM. So the teens they don't understand what engineers do. They don't understand what it means to be an engineer. And luckily we have a lot of people, I'm assuming like you guys, who have some kind of STEM background or maybe engineers yourself, to be able to explain that to them. So the youth today, like everyone else, understands the importance of having a well-paying job. They understand that well-paying jobs make a difference. So they're out there making sure that when they do go to college, that whatever degree they choose, they want to make sure they make a lot of money. If you're laughing right now because you feel as though you don't make a lot of money, according to them, you do. So you definitely want to make sure to add that when you talk to them. So we see that they're seeing engineers as helping people, but not directly. which means they know that in a big scope of things, we are helping people, but they don't know how, and they don't know if we are helping them for their day-to-day lives. They also see engineers as desk jockeys. If you're looking at the PowerPoint, to your left, you will see the Dilbert ad comic. And a lot of us, we grew up with the comics of Dilbert. And you see him there at his desk with his little tie. And that's what kids think of when they think of engineers. They think that you're just sitting behind your desk at your computer every day doing nothing. And we all know that that is not true. Few teams, less than 15%, describe engineering as nerdy or boring. So we want to make sure that we change that. Again, less than 15% think that it's nerdy and boring, and we want to make sure that no one thinks that it's nerdy and boring, because we all know that engineering is an awesome job. So boys versus girls. So again, both believe that engineering is a very good career choice. African American boys, more than girls, think salary is extremely important in the job choice. So basically, African American boys want to make sure they get a job that's able to pay a lot. They understand that that's something to be looking for, and that's important. African American girls want jobs that make a difference. I always use the example of myself. That's why I'm here today. That's always been my goal as an African American girl, is to have a job that makes a difference. So that's where we're seeing our girls. Hispanic girls, more than boys, think engineers are nerdy and boring. So that's one of the groups that we definitely have to work with. And Hispanic boys are more likely to believe engineering has a positive effect on everyday lives. So Hispanic boys, they love engineering. They see that it's affecting people's everyday life. But the girls think it's nerdy and boring. So that's definitely a disconnect that we need to work on. So our gender findings. So, I mean, if we have any guys on the call today, you know that boys like things like space exploration and designing video games. Girls, they want to gravitate to things using DNA evidence to solve crimes. So basically, girls are not sold. They want to know if engineering is creative. They want to know is the work rewarding. And they want to know that engineers have a positive effect on people's lives every day. Again, all girls want to make sure that they are making some kind of impression on people's lives and that they're changing people's lives. So one of the things here we have 4 different picture choices. In the survey, we realized that younger girls actually like pictures with people in them. So if you are doing a flyer to recruit for your team, if you do the picture to the far left, which is of the picture of the robot and the girls together, you have a better chance of girls coming out. For guys, all they need to see is the equipment. So all they need to see is the tools. All they need to see is the fun stuff. If you put like you have a bolt on a flyer that says, "Come join our robotics team," boys will come running. But girls, they need to actually see the image and see people interacting with the robot or interacting with the solar racer. They need to see people having fun and being a part of that. So you definitely want to make sure that when you're going out there to recruit people and you're actually using your posters and your graphics, that you're trying to use a picture with people in there actually enjoying the piece of equipment. So some of our STEM messaging recommendations: stop reinforcing the images of nerdy and boring. So I actually did a presentation, I want to say a month ago, and I actually had students in there. And I asked the students, I say, how do you guys feel about the word nerdy? And their response was, we're not afraid of being called nerds. We love it. It's our name. We understand that in the future we're going to be the ones making the money. And it shocked me because we have always said to stay away from the word nerdy. But honestly, the reason why we should stay away from the word nerdy is because people on the outside will be afraid to come in, not because they're afraid of being nerds, because they're afraid of not being nerdy enough. So we want to make sure that we are still not reinforcing that we're nerdy or boring. You know, we have shows out there like The Big Bang Theory, which makes it seem like it's cool that they want to do this, and it's true, but we definitely, as a group, need to make sure that we're not saying that you either, A, have to be nerdy a part of this group, or that you're already nerdy because you're a part of this group. Next, you want to stop focusing on math and science. Although math and science is very important to me, engineer, to bring people in, you want to focus on the outputs, on the career opportunities, and also to make a difference in the world. So we want to say that, hey, it is important to do math and science, but the outputs are more important. So the career opportunities that you choose, the fact that you get to make a difference, and the outputs of the art of being an engineer is worth it. Also, if you want to use the word create, if you ask me right now to build anything, I'm going to run away. I have no idea how to build anything. But if you say the word create, I'm really going to give it a chance because I feel as though I'm creative. And that makes me want to continue to try to create things. So instead of using the word, hey, let's go build a robot, let's go build a solar panel, say, come, let's create it. Let's create a way to do this. And you'll get more people that way. So for the most appealing messages. These are 5 messages that was used to try to get people involved. The one that was least appealing is engineers connect science to the real world. Here is the reason why. When you are in high school, the main thing that your teachers is telling you, that your counselor is telling you, that your family, your mom is telling you is that one day you're going to go into the real world, and you can't do that in the real world. And obviously, it's kind of scary. I mean, I have been in the real world for a long time, and I'm still scared of the real world. So you want to make sure that we aren't scaring them and saying words like engineers connect science to the real world. Why don't you say engineers are creative problem solvers? Engineers is essential to our health and happiness. Engineers help shape the future. Engineers make a world of difference. These are all messages that people gravitate to. But if you tell a kid that this is going to push them into the real world any faster, they will run. I would run. So let's make sure that we try to use something different than that. Next, so we have some more things. Like I mentioned earlier, you definitely want to use images of people and not things when you are trying to recruit. You want to always use the following 5 words: discovery, design, imagination, innovation, and contribution. Contribution. Wow, I lost it, guys. Contribution. You want to use these words. They definitely attract people. They're always great words, and people, they're not afraid of those. So definitely come in to be in robotics. Come and join our team so you can discover things, so you can help design, so you can use your imagination. These are all words that we love to use and that attracts different kind of crowds. Describe engineers as creative problem solvers. I think one of the best things that we can tell people when we recruit them is that if you are not good with the robot, you can definitely still come out to help. You can make our shirts, you can be on our marketing team, but the main focus of all of FIRST Robotics is problem solving. If you leave FIRST and you decide that you don't want to be an engineer, any job you want to get into, you'll be able to do problem solving. And this is a really good skill that they learn with us and that we definitely want to teach them. So you want to be creative problem solvers. You also want to emphasize that engineers shape the future. You definitely want to let them know that we are continuously shaping the future and that it's important. Things that they use every day is made by an engineer. I mean, from their microwave to their remote control, things that they use in their everyday life that they may not have thought of is made by an engineer. So they definitely want to be a part of that. So guys, that brings me to the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, please let me know. My contact information is here if you would like any tips on how to recruit anybody or recruit more people. My name again is Mercedes Crawford, and you can find my email address at mcrawford@SkillPoint Alliance. I'm there to help you recruit volunteers, mentors, or anything you need. So please give me a call if you need me at 512-814-3261. And if you have any questions, please, you can type those questions in now, and we can go ahead and answer them for you.
One question while we wait. Could you talk just a little bit about some of the steps that you took in Central Texas to help recruit or to help the teams in your area recruit underrepresented students?
So I think the biggest thing as a partner was to reach out to those schools. I think the biggest thing we can do is use the pipeline system. So right now, if you're on my phone, if you're on this conference call or you're on this webinar and you're an FTC team, reach out to your elementary school. If you're a high school, reach out to your middle school and get these kids started early, because we have numbers that say that that minorities and girls are very interested in FLL or junior FLL. It's just that they kind of drop off when they go to high school to FTC. So we continue a relationship with the high schoolers working with middle school and junior FLL and FLL, getting that keep on going, then we wouldn't have that issue. So I think the biggest thing we did here in Central Texas is just make sure that our high schools were mentoring IFTC teams, FRC teams were mentoring FLL teams, and just keeping that pipeline going. Any other questions?
I think there's no other questions at this point.
Okay, well guys, again, if you need me, definitely email me at mcrawford@SkillPoint Alliance. Again, I would like to thank First in Texas for having me out today. Thank you for being on the webinar, and I'll turn it back over to Ben.
Thank you all for coming out this evening. Just for those of you who joined us a little after the beginning, this was just the first of the First in Texas's training series. We're going to do a series of webinars on topics that are of interest to FIRST teams generally and STEM education groups generally. We're also available, Jessica or myself are available to come and give presentations at any kind of live event that you may have across the state. So if you are interested, you can reach out to info@firstintexas.org and we can help connect you. You can also go to our website, firstintexas.org, and there's a contact us page there that will also give you some more options as well as information about the foundation. And if you have a team for FTC or FRC or FLL or junior FLL, you can also apply for the grants from First in Texas there. We have recorded this webinar. We will be posting it on the First in Texas website in about a day or two. So if you want to check out firstintexas.org, there will be a webinar recording that will contain all of the information that Mercedes just shared with us, and we can she's available to answer questions, and you can also ask at info@firstintexas.org. I want to thank you all for coming, and we will look forward to seeing you at some of our future webinars. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Can I do that again? I'm just kidding.